Hello, uh, everyone that's watching. Now I'm doing a video trying to investigate whether Ekegusii as a language is an offshoot of the Hebrew language. I've watched videos on the subject, and there are suggestions that Ekegusii, among other Bantu languages, are offshoots of the Hebrew language. So what I did is I did a random sampling of words, 30 words to be precise, and I tried to see the Ekegusii connection, the Hebrew Ekegusii relation, and I want to take you through those words. I will give you the English meaning, the Ekegusii meaning, and we will try to explain the connection or the correlation, as it were, between these words. Now the first word is achar or akar. That's Hebrew. In English it means after. In Ekegusii is buatia. That one we will leave it out. There's no connection there. The next word is begadim, means clothes, or eanga or chianga in Ekegusii, that is. But maybe the word would appear like a connection is what we do with clothes, which is we wear them, which is weka. With begadim and weka, there's a connection there, but we will not include that one. So the other word is gan, meaning garden. The Ekegusii equivalent is umogondo, so that gan, gondo. So at least this one we will include it as having some direct correlation. The next word is dun, D-U-N. The English equivalent is strive or not remain. We find this word in Genesis 6:30, or where God is saying that His Spirit will not remain with man. Now, strive or not remain, strive in Ekegusii would be tiema. But there is a word that's closely related with dun, which is tunya. Tunya is to follow. When Matthew was called from the tax collector's desk, Jesus told him in tunyane, that is, follow me. So that one we will give it dun and tunya. Now, the other word is higher. It's higher. In English it means to become or come to pass. In Ekegusii is okoba. Now there may not be an very obvious correlation there, but in Ekegusii sometimes they say ayanaro. When you say ayanaro, it's almost an expression of shock that this is what has happened at the end of the day. So because of that, we will also include that one as a word having some connection, ayanaro. We have the other word, which is zavat. English means sacrifice. Ekegusii is ekengwaso. There may not appear to be any connection there, but anytime you give a sacrifice, you're making some prayer. And in Ekegusii, prayer is Saba. So this is Zavat and Saba. So we will include that as having a correlation with each other. Then we have another word, cherpa, which in English means reproach. In Ekegusii, we have a word chencha or chencha, which is to mock, or choria, which is to ridicule. So you see some connection there. So that one will also give it cherpa, chencha, choria. We have another word, yisad, which means to lay. In Ekegusii, it is veka. There is a word that is closely connected with that, which is visa, yisad and visa, but we won't include that. Let's leave that out. We have another word, which is yasher, in English meaning straight. Yasher, straight. In Ekegusii, that would be boronge. There may not be a connection there, although when you are shooting, which is in Ekegusii is to shoot, which is rasa, okorasa, you're aiming straight. But let us not give that also. The other word is ki in Hebrew. That word means although, yet, for. The Kisii equivalent is ko, which means but, however, although. Nachiete ko timorochi. I went, but I did not see him there. So we will include that also as a word, as two words having a correlation. We have another word, kaporeth, which in English means cover or lead. The Ekegusii word is ekemumekero. We may not have anything there. The other word we are looking at is matza. Matza in English means to discover. In Ekegusii, to discover would be ekomanya. Manya, so we are including that also as two words having a correlation. We have a word nezem, which means a ring. In Ekegusii is ebigera. So we may not have anything there. We have another word, netza, which means a branch, which is ege sabo. Although there is sabo there, netza, sabo, let us not give it that one there. We have another word, sadar, which means to arrange. Now, to arrange in Ekegusii is chana. Although there is a connection, but let's not connect it that much. We have another word, pasim, meaning colors. We call it chirangi. In Ekegusii, there is nothing there. We have a word, parash, Hebrew parash, which means divide. In Ekegusii, it is gava. Yet there is another word, apart from gava, which is vara. Vara is count. So you see in parash, in dividing, there is some counting. So let us give that one also, which is parash and vara, which means counting. We have a word choi. Choi. Choi means voice in English. In Ekegusii, it's yogi. Now, although there may not be anything there may not appear to be any connection, but I hear some people when they want to refer to nothing. If you are looking for something in a house and it's not there, somebody can ask you, is it there? Is something there? You say, no, choi, it's not there. There's nothing. But let us not give that one also. Although choi is sometimes used to mean nothing. So there is another word, kum, which means stand up or arise. This word, we find it in Exodus 1 verse 8. The Ekegusii translation of arise or stand up is talking about a pharaoh. It says akaira obogambi, took pharaohship or took leadership. However, in Ekegusii, there is the word kuma, kuma, that being known or being famous. So when someone arises, they become famous. Omugusii can say no kuma or akumete nsengima. So because of that, we are going to give that one also kum and kuma. Although it's not used in the Ekegusii Bible, kuma. Now the other word is ruach. Ruach means breath or spirit. In Ekegusii is omoika. So to me, that ka, oika, ruach, and ka, we need to give it as another word that has an equivalent in Ekegusii because of the ika, the ka, the ruach and ka. If somebody had a clue that there is a word close to that. Another word, it's roots, R-U-T-Z. In English means hasten or flee. In Ekegusii we would say tama. Now we won't give it that one, although there is a word which is closely associated with it, which is rusia, roots and rusia. Another word we are looking at is shall. In English means to ask. Let's say sorora. Let's not give that one. We have another word, swak. In English, it means to meditate or to pray. This is a word that we find in Genesis chapter 24, verse 63. Now, the way the word there are used is that because it's talking about Isaac, that in English says he was meditating, and the Ekegusii translators got it from there, and they said he had meditating. But there is a word in Ekegusii which is ogosega. Isaac was actually ogosega-segaring. Ogosega is moving up and down, almost undecided about what to do. It's different from chitangatanga, which is to doubt. So, to me, swak, when you consider that Ekegusii don't have the k, they have a g, the sega came from there. So I will give that as being a word that is closely associated. We have shakar, which means to place or station, which is beka. We will not include that there. We have another word, salma, which means clothes, chianga. There may not be anything there also. We have another word, shachath. Shachath means to ruin. In Ekegusii, we would say saria. But for me, although saria is a bit removed from shachath, we have another word which is ogotacha. Ogotacha, when you are stepping on something, you are destroying. Because shachath means to ruin or to destroy. Ogotacha. So we will give it because of that. So we have a word tohu, which means to ruin. Tohu means without form. In Ekegusii bosa, there is nothing there. We have a word tamim, which means without blemish. In Ekegusii is vitabuati ebitamaso. Tamim tabuati ebitamaso. So to me, that tamim and ebitamaso, there is a connection, but let's not give it there. There is another word, chadash, which means new. Ekegusii would be ekeya, we say kende, another one, a different one. So there may not be anything there. The last one is ken. Ken means nest. In Ekegusii is egeswa. Now, if you consider the fact that the Ekegusii don't have the hard K, if you remove the first from Ekegusii, and the ending may be a bit different, but you see some correlation there. Ken and K. So that one also, if we can give it. So that concludes the list of 30 words that I relate or I find to be correlating in meaning and also in pronunciation from both languages. And if we count these numbers, these words, they total 14. So that's close to a half, 14 out of 30. So these are words that are closely associated both in pronunciation and also in meaning, and that tells us something between the Hebrew language and Ekegusii.